Hi guys, Mr. Evans here. I'm going to try and do a quick revision video on YED. The intention of this isn't necessarily to teach it in depth, but to give you a quick overview. Obviously, if you need to, you go back and revise the topic in a bit more detail. Okay, so what is income elasticity of demand? What we're looking at with income elasticity of demand is how much is quantity demanded going to change in response to a change in average incomes across the economy. So here's the formula, and we are dividing the change in quantity demanded by the percentage change in income. All right, and what do you need to know? There are 3 product groups you need to be aware of. First one, inferior product, where we've got an inverse relationship between incomes and quantity demanded. Okay, what does that mean? It means if incomes go up, the quantity demanded goes down. Okay, so we've got some various products here. We've got incomes going up by 10%, and these various products experience different changes in demand. First one, as incomes go up by 10%, demand falls by 50%. We've got a strong negative relationship between these things, and therefore we've got a YED coefficient of -5. Even this bottom one here, income went up, demand only fell by 2%, but what we're interested in is the relationship between income and quantity demanded. And if we've got an inverse relationship, whereas incomes go down, quantity demanded goes up, whereas incomes go up and quantity demanded goes down, we have got an inferior good. If you're dividing a positive by a negative, we're always going to have a negative coefficient, and that's what we're looking out for to judge if we've got an inferior product. Okay, so next sort of product is a normal necessity. Right, normal just means that the change in quantity demanded and the change in income are moving in the same direction. So as incomes go up, quantity demanded goes up, or as incomes go down, quantity demanded goes down. This time, what we're seeing with the normal necessities is as incomes go up, so does the change in quantity demanded, but by proportionally less than the change in income. So with our change in income of 10%, we're seeing 1%, 3%, 5%, 8% changes in quantity demanded. There's always going to be, if the percentage change in quantity demanded is less proportional than the change in income, you're going to get a positive YED coefficient, but it's going to have 0 point in front of it. Okay, in other words, consumers are buying more as incomes go up, but not that much more. Okay, so this is our, these are necessities. This is cleaning products. This is toothpaste. This is certain, food groups, fruit and vegetables probably. You get a change in income, you might buy a few more, but you're not spending loads and loads more. Okay, normal luxuries. This time we've got an increase in income and demand changes by proportionally more than that in the same direction. So these are foreign holidays, expensive jewelry, expensive clothing. As incomes go up, I'm going to spend a lot more on these products, okay? From an increase in income of 10%, 11% more quantity demanded. Okay, we've got a positive YED, it's a normal good. The change in quantity demanded is proportionally greater than the change in income. So we've got a whole number at the beginning of our YED coefficient. It's not a 0, it's a whole number, which signifies that the proportional change in quantity demanded is greater than the change in income. Okay, last product here, income's going up by 10%, demand goes up 76%, a very income elastic, normal luxury. All right, so how do businesses use this information? Number one, they use it to do a sales forecast. Okay, so if incomes are expected to change across the economy, they can either decide to increase output, maybe expand their product if they're selling a luxury, if they see income's going to go up. All right, so they can do sales forecasts and make decisions based on that. Secondly, they can use it to assess their product portfolio. So in a situation where incomes are expected to go up, if I'm a business selling an inferior good, maybe I want to think about developing a different range of products, perhaps under a different brand name that's not tainted by my inferior good brand name, that will experience greater demand as incomes rise. So 2 uses: 1, sales forecasts and the sort of decisions like about expansion or cutting back on staff that we can make based on that. 2, we can use it to review our product portfolio. All right. And therefore, why do I reckon it's a key topic? It can be used in any question about product portfolio. So a few years ago, there was a question about Spotify moving. Sorry, I was going to use that as this example here. All right, so should a business move into a new market? You could say if it's selling an inferior good and incomes are expected to rise, it might need to sell a luxury good. All right, the Spotify question was a few years ago on EdXL, was about whether Spotify should focus more on developing markets in Asia. And a good little chain of argument there was incomes are expected to rise. Spotify sell a normal good, so it could be highly beneficial for them. All right, so here's a short example of something that you might write in an exam. I'll just give you a second to pause the video and read it. Okay, so maybe you get a question on Centre Parks and it hints that they could take over Butlins. All right, so what would I say? Given its higher price and market positioning, Centre Parks is likely a normal good with a YED greater than 1, with UK incomes expected to fall. Taking over Butlins, which may be seen as an inferior good, could help to spread risk. As consumers cut back on luxury holidays, i.e. Centre Parks, demand for Butlins may rise, helping to support their overall revenues. All right, so that's a nice little chain of argument showing the examiner that you understand YED.